And unfortunately, this is going to be a very long duration event for us. So long after the freezing rain and sleet and a little bit of snow taper off, cold temperatures are going to stick around North Texas. Look at the expansive area east of the Rockies under some type of advisory or warning for either extreme cold or wintry weather or both. Parts of Oklahoma, as we just heard, could see up to 18 inches of snowfall. Here, much fewer snowflakes than sleet pellets and also freezing rain. We're under a winter storm warning across all of North Texas with an ice storm warning as you head out into Van Zandt County, Athens, Palestine, and points east. So why are we getting the sleet and freezing rain and not the snow? Well, here in North Texas, we've got a warm layer of air above our heads from 5 to 10,000 feet. So these snowflakes above 10,000 feet are falling into this warm layer and melting. And as that rain reaches the surface, once it falls below freezing, which it will do later this evening, that liquid freezes on contact. So it's liquid all the way down, freezing on a cold surface. That is freezing rain. Later tomorrow, as that Arctic air gets deeper from the surface on up through about 4,000 feet, now these raindrops falling into that sub-freezing air freeze into ice pellets. That's what we call sleet. And then finally, towards the tail end of our system, we get rid of that warm layer of air for a brief time above our heads, and we could see this end as some snow. We're at 36 at DFW with rain falling. It's also rain at Terrell at 40. Same story in Denton and McKinney. But notice Bridgeport and Graham and Jacksboro have dipped below freezing now. So we've got freezing rain, a few sleet pellets, starting to get reports of some icing taking place. Elevated surfaces, mainly trees, perhaps a few power lines as well, getting a coating of ice already. Here's the big view, 68 San Antonio. It is 7 degrees right now in Amarillo with snow falling, and this is all ahead of our Pacific storm that is still sitting just offshore right now, but this conveyor belt of Pacific moisture being pumped right into North Texas, and that's riding over that Arctic air. And it is bitterly cold to our north already, 10 below in Minneapolis, 0 at Omaha, and -8 in Chicago. And once we fall below freezing just after midnight tonight, we will stay below freezing all the way, I think, until early on Tuesday afternoon. That would be 84 straight hours. Still not as long, though, as 2021. Here's a look at Futurecast. Follow the pink colors here. That is roughly our freezing line. So that's where freezing rain starts to occur. And that freezing line continues to dip south as we head past midnight. By early tomorrow morning, it's predominantly wintry precipitation across much of North Texas. Freezing rain and sleet in the morning. And then it's mainly sleet as we head through the afternoon. That sleet will be heavy at times Saturday night. Don't be surprised if you hear some rumbles of thunder. That's thunder sleet that's possible here in North Texas. And then finally, towards the tail end, overnight, Saturday night into Sunday morning, we could finally be cold enough to see this end as a little bit of snow. So how much are we talking about? Let's talk about ice accumulations first. 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch here in the metroplex and points west and north. A 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch, though, to our east and to our southeast. And then out towards Van Zandt County, perhaps Rains County, down through the Athens area, Palestine. That could see even heavier accumulations in excess of 3/4 of an inch of ice buildup. Sleet and snow totals, 3 to 5 inches. Mostly sleet with some snow, especially in our northern counties. Now, here in the metroplex, it's probably 90% sleet, 2 to 3 inches accumulation, ending with a little layer of snow on top, 1 to 2 inches of mainly sleet down through Cleburne, Waxahachie, and then finally up to an inch of sleet in our far southern counties. 7-day forecast here. Bitterly cold. Wind chills both Sunday and Monday mornings will be below 0. Monday's high 29. We go back down to 13 early Tuesday. Finally eclipse the freezing mark Tuesday afternoon. But you can see all of next week, we've got no mild air coming our way. The warmest temperature Thursday at 43.